Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I have eyebrows again, and this time they're real hairs and they're here to stay. A little while ago I made a video where I shaved off my eyebrows. It went like this. And the point of shaving them off was that I wanted to learn how to properly fill in my eyebrows. Because as you can see, they're pretty dark on their own, and I don't necessarily have to put in that much effort to get them to stand out the way you want them to stand out when you're doing your makeup. So I've gotten away with not knowing how to do my brows for a really long time, and I thought it's about time I learn how to fill them in. So when I didn't have eyebrows, I had to draw them on every day and learn how to create eyebrows, how to shape eyebrows, and how to make them look the way I wanted them to look. And now that I have some kind of eyebrow routine down, I want to show you what that is. But I also want to show you what it was like growing my eyebrows back. I took a bunch of pictures as they were growing back to kind of show you what it looked like and how long it took to get to what point. At first I had some kind of stubble growing back, so I could kind of see where my brows were supposed to go, but it wasn't anything but spiky, and it definitely didn't look like I had eyebrows yet. So for that first week and a half after I shaved my eyebrows, there really was no hair where my eyebrows should be, and you really couldn't see them at all, and that definitely is a funny look to have. After that, the way it was growing back was really irregular. It was growing back in patches roughly in the shape of my eyebrows, and it didn't look too cute. But by the 3-week mark, I already had to tweeze my eyebrows and give them a little bit more shape, which definitely made them look a lot better and a lot more prominent. And even though my brows did look really thin, they were back enough for me to be able to fill my brows in with powder, and I don't have to use a pomade. It was definitely a bit early to say they were back, but I would definitely say 1 month after shaving my eyebrows. I shaved them on the 20th of July, and on the 20th of August, I would say they were back enough that I could just walk around without doing anything to my eyebrows, and I looked fine. Yes, my eyebrows did look thinner than they usually did because there was less hair than I usually have, but I definitely had eyebrows and they were long enough that some of the hairs could be out of place and I had to brush them correctly when doing my makeup. And then finally, 5 weeks after shaving my eyebrows, I considered them fully back and stopped worrying about them. And now, 2 months after having shaved them, they're long enough that I can consider trimming them the next time I shave them. And they're definitely long enough that I could do some fluffy brows. So just to sum that up, for the first 2 weeks, you're going to look a little bald and a little weird. After 4 weeks, your brows are going to be back enough that you don't have to do anything to them before you leave the house. And after 5 to 6 weeks, you can say they're fully back. At least that's how it was in my experience. So I did record the technique I used to fill in my brows the day I shaved them, and I still use that exact same technique. So I'm quickly going to show you that clip so that you can hear everything you're supposed to do and how I recommend you fill in your brows. And then after seeing that end result, I'll show you the end result of what it looks like when I do my brows like that today, so that you can see the difference that a little bit of practice makes. And hopefully there is a difference. Hopefully I do them a little bit better today than I did back then. So there's something to show to make all of this worth it. So here's how I've been filling in my brows with brow pomade. I'm going to take this Julienne eyebrow pomade in dark brown, and I'm going to pick a little bit up with my eyebrow brush. So I'm just going to touch it with the side here so I can pick the product up on the one side. Starting a little bit short of the front, I'm going to draw the line underneath. And that went on so smooth without any brow hairs in the way. That was a dream. I'm going to do the same at the top. Just draw the line and try and make the arch as well as a sharp end. Now that there's a bit less on my brush, I'm kind of going to blend it out into the front so it's a bit lighter here at the front of my brow. And then twist my brush upwards and then start coloring in this front section. And then I'm going to work the color on through the little shape I made to color it in. It feels like my brow's not in the right place, but I traced where my brow usually is, so I'm going to leave it there and do the other side. And hopefully when I have both on, it's going to look more normal, because this is how I'm going to look for a few weeks. Now I don't think my brush is thin enough for hair-like strokes, but I'm going to try and give it a little darker flicks like that by adding more product. Hey, that's actually working. See, we are learning already. I don't want to go in too much because then I'm just going to color in the whole thing dark. And there, I just messed up. But now there's a little bit of hair-like texture in there. Now that it's done, I'm going to take my spoolie the way I usually would and kind of run on the front, seeing if that lightens it up a little bit by just rubbing away at the product. And now it's letting the hair-like strokes I tried making come through a little bit more because there's more product there because it was layered, obviously. Now with a pump of my foundation, I'm going to take my concealer brush and carve them out. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of my foundation on the brush, go around the top and follow the line there. I want this line to be straight, so I just go straight off the arch there. Now I'm going to follow the curve. I'm picking up a really little bit because I don't want it to be a thick line against my eyebrow because I'm going to have to blend it. So the small bit of product, I'm just drawing around the edges. It is a dream to carve out the bottom of your brows without hair because you're not catching any hair there that picks up the foundation in a funny way. Then with what is left, I'm going to draw it here at the front of my brow a little bit, shape that out, and then go back to the edges and blend them out. And to blend it out, I'm doing a little sideways swoop and then downwards to drag the product away from the edge of the brow without changing the line around the brow. And now for the other side, we have to try and make sure they both have the same shape. This brow's a little less smooth, but we are learning, and I need to carve out the bottom so it has the same shape as this one. To do this, I'm lifting my eyebrows as much as I can so the skin doesn't push around, but rather is pulled taut. And then that is the final result for my eyebrows. I think they definitely look like eyebrows. But there's room for improvement, and hopefully soon enough I'll be doing them better. But here is a little time lapse of how my brows grew back. And then this is what my brows look like when I do them today. Do they look better than when I did them the first time? That is up to you to judge, but it was definitely quicker and a lot easier. I felt like I actually knew what I was doing instead of like moving there with a trembling hand and trying to figure it out. I did learn that it's a lot easier to do your brows with brow pomade when you don't have any hairs there versus when you have hair and you kind of have to work around it and you have to carve out around them. It's a lot easier when you shape them. But I also learned that no matter what you do with brow pomade, it's gonna be intense. So if you want dramatic brows, this is the route to go. But then this was it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you were watching this video because you were thinking about shaving off your own eyebrows and you want to know how long it takes for them to grow back, let me know in the comments why you're thinking of shaving off your own eyebrows. And for everyone else, let me know if you would ever shave off your eyebrows or if you think it's entirely crazy to do that. I have to say it was quite liberating to shave your eyebrows. It was a fun experience and I got to do it in lockdown, so people didn't really have to see me without brows in any ways. But this was a lot of fun for me to do, so I hope you enjoyed watching and I look forward to seeing you again next time.